Okay, shoot. Alrighty. Alright, sorry guys. That last stream, I guess the connection just got bad. I was on my laptop. But I'm just gonna do it on my phone this time. Oh man, I'm trying to adjust myself because I put my jacket on because I was just gonna leave. But anyways, okay, let me try this again. So tonight at the Toastmasters meeting, there was a speech that was incredible. Some of the information, I wanted to share some of that information, so that's why I'm trying to stream this live again. Hey, what's up, Rachel? Shit. So I was about to just leave. I put my jacket on, I was like, fuck this, you know? But anyways, I was like, you know what, no, let me try it again, because it's actually pretty good information. I think it's gonna be helpful. So, Chenyo, one of my fellow Toastmasters at my meeting tonight, she gave a speech and she was talking about how IQ does not matter as much as EQ. How smart you are. Shit. Okay, please, sorry guys, forgive the presentation. So how smart you are has very little to do with how successful you become. Patty, Eleanor, are you streaming on your phone, with your phone? So I was streaming on my laptop, but the connection got bad and everything, and it happens every time I stream on that laptop, so now I'm using my phone. But anyways, back to the point. So she pointed out that the people who had, and they did this study, right? And the people who had lower IQs, right? They were in the category with the lower IQ. They weren't like super smart or geniuses or anything like that. Later on, they were actually 70% of them were more successful than the people with the higher IQs. Skyer, time for a new laptop. Yeah, right? Shoot. Well, good thing I'm rich, right? I'll just go and buy one. Patty says, I, for some reason, can't stream with my laptop. Well, apparently I can't either. So, when she was talking about emotional intelligence, she was saying, what is emotional intelligence, right? She's saying there's 4 areas of emotional intelligence. EQ, not IQ. And the crazy thing is, sometimes you'll meet some of the smartest people in the world, geniuses, and they're homeless on the street. So how smart you are does not really have a lot to do with how successful you become. If you go to an engineering company even, the CEO, usually the guy that gets paid the most, not the smartest person in the company, okay? Rachel says, EQ is normally more important than IQ. Not normally, it always is. And so, this is the 4 areas. First is self-awareness. She was saying, perceive and label your emotions. Don't try to deny them. See it for what it is, right? I have anger issues, right? When I get angry, I don't even like myself when I get angry. You know, like I lose it sometimes. Especially, here's the most dangerous part. I feel so justified in my anger when I get angry. I don't know if you guys saw the stream where I was cussing and I was calling out Joey Villani and the whole grooming industry and everything. I upset a lot of people. At the time, I didn't give a shit. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, come at me then, you know? But now I regret it. But at the time, I was angry, okay? So rather than, I feel you. Nice, Rachel. You feel me? You really want to feel? Anyways, keep your hands to yourself. I'm doing a live stream. Okay, so rather than try to deny it or resist it, she's saying lean into your emotions. Really feel them and really try to ask yourself, is this anger that I feel? Or is this frustration? Or is this resentment? What is it? Label it. Patty says, when I get angry, I tend not to make sense when I speak. Yeah, sometimes people stutter. But so here's part 2. Self-management, okay? Pause before you react. So now that you've become more self-aware and now that you've perceived your emotions and you labeled them, now you try to manage them, right? So the example that she gave is, if you know you don't like someone, every time they talk, every time you hear their voice, it's like chalk, nails on a chalkboard. You just feel angry, you feel irritated, annoyed. You know this about yourself, right? Then again, self-awareness. Don't try to deny it, own it. Say, yeah, whenever that person opens their mouth, I feel like I want to kill somebody, right? Then she's saying that you have to manage that emotion. Take a pause before you react, right? Count to 10. But here's a great example that she gave, a great idea. She was saying if you're gonna be in a business meeting or in a setting where you're gonna be around that person that you know you don't like, have a glass of water. Every time that person opens their mouth to speak, take a drink of water to prevent yourself from saying something that you might regret, right? And she was saying you may have to drink 10 gallons of water, you know, but it's much better than releasing some negative emotions and regretting it later, right? So you have to manage, self-management. First is self-awareness, perceive and label your emotions, then self-management. Pause before you react, or have a glass of water handy, right? Spit the water at his face. Oh man, you said that was an accident. That's why you spit the water in my face. I'm kidding. So, number 3 is social awareness. You have to start becoming good at taking the temperature of the room, reading people's body language, right? If you see somebody's eyes wander, that probably means wrap it up. They're not paying attention anymore, you know? So be aware of someone's body language. And here's the thing. This wasn't in part of her speech, but I've learned from, I think it's Vanessa Van Edwards is her name. She talks about something called micro-expressions. Look for micro-expressions because it's done subconsciously, so people don't even know that they're doing it. But look for these quick twitches, you know, like these subconscious things that happen, or like a smile, you know, that they try to hide. So these are called micro-expressions. So someone might say that they like you, or they might act nice, but sometimes subconsciously even they can't control it, you know? And you have to really be watching them, and you'll notice like a little grimace or something, right? That means that person really doesn't like that person. So watch for that. Watch for the people's body language. Become more aware of the temperature of the room, you know, how other people are feeling. Number 4, this is the last one. Relationship management. So she was saying, like, you have to manage your relationships, you know, make sure the people who are important to you know they're important to you. Make sure the people who are not really great for you, you know, and are not really helping you at all. And it's a toxic relationship. You got to manage those relationships. You got to spend less time with those people. Rachel says, no wonder you keep twitching when you talk to because I really don't like you. I'm kidding. Actually, it's the opposite, and I hope I'm not making it too obvious. You know what I'm saying? That's not a micro expression. That's a macro expression. Anyways, so I hope that this helps. I better wrap up because they're about to close soon, and I have 2 beers to finish, so I gotta chug this. But I really thought that was interesting because, honestly, I don't want to seem like I'm being boastful, but just to be realistic, right? Just to be objective, I am successful now compared to before. When I lost my business, I was in debt. You know, I was walking to the grocery store. I was stealing vegetables from the community garden. I wouldn't consider that successful. Now I'm in a position where I would consider myself successful, right? But what has changed? Beer in a coffee shop? Yeah, they have beer and wine here. That's why I come. Anyways, what has changed? Have I become that much more intelligent than before? I don't think so. I think I've become more emotionally intelligent. I've become better at not snapping at people. You know, oh my God. I mean, I used to treat clients pretty badly, you know? I mean, if I got frustrated or something, or I felt like they were disrespecting me, I would let them have it, you know? And I didn't. So this one lady, she told my wife one time, because I heard them in the lobby talking, and she goes, "Your husband really needs to learn how to talk to people." And so I stuck my head out. I was like, "Why? So I could deal with more people like you?" You know, it's like, what a crappy attitude, you know? So, and for me, I felt like, oh, as long as I got the last word in, you know, but that's stupid. I lost my business, probably for a good reason. You know, I was a jerk. Here's the thing. It's about being self-aware, right? I'm still a jerk. Let's just be real. I'm still a jerk. I'm just more aware of it now, and I don't try to deny that anymore. And because I don't try to deny it, whenever I catch myself and I become aware, I'm more aware, and I catch myself now more often acting like a jerk. And now, because I'm more self-aware, I can manage my emotions better and say, oh, I'm acting like a jerk again. And sometimes I'll just come out and say it. I'll say something and I can tell that I just made a mistake, and I'll just tell them, hey, listen, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. Like you know, the worst part is I probably did mean to hurt your feelings, and I'm sorry. But I'm just an asshole, and I'm working on that. And then I can become better. And next time I'll be a little bit more careful. And it's been years of this. It's really been years of working on this, and now I just don't even have the desire to put someone down anymore. That's just not me, and that's the thing. So that's why I always thought that other people had the problem, that I was actually a funny person, but everybody else had a bad sense of humor. That's what I thought. Actually, that wasn't the case. I know why people consider me funny now, and I know why people laugh with me now, and we all have a great time. It's because I'm not making jokes that put people down anymore. And that's what I used to do, because I thought it was funny. But here's the thing, when you put someone down, and especially it's worse when everyone else around laughs, and that makes that person feel even worse, you can never grow taller by making others feel smaller. In fact, you actually start to become a very small person yourself. But if you spend that same energy and that same effort, that same emotional energy into helping people grow, the more you help people grow, you yourself become a giant. And I realized that. It's like, where did all this success come from? I'm an asshole. I'm a jerk. I'm not a great guy. So where did all this success come from? I think it's because I've been practicing for years and years of trying to control that part of me, trying to tame that beast, and acknowledging I have a monster inside of me. I do. But rather than deny that part and just let it take over me sometimes, like Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, and then I have deniability. Oh, I don't know what came over me. I'm really a good guy. I don't know what happened. Rather than do that, just acknowledge, okay, I do have this monster inside of me, and I need to control it. I need to learn how to tame this guy, and I need to learn how to control this monster and put him on a leash so I can take him out in public with me, and not have to worry. But you can never get there if you keep denying that part of yourself. Oh my God, I'm gonna end with this. Jordan Peterson pointed out a really important fact, a distinction that we need to make. Everybody knows the Sermon on the Hill that Jesus gave. He was saying, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Everybody thinks that "blessed are the meek" means meek, like subservient, put your head down. That's not the word that he was actually using. If you go back and translate the original Hebrew word, it literally means, that word meek, it means to control the beast, like to control the monster inside. So that's what Jesus was saying. Blessed are those who learn to control that negative emotion inside, because they shall inherit the world. They shall inherit the earth. Wow. And that's exactly what Echenya was saying, just in a different way. She didn't say it as well as Jesus did, because, he's Jesus, when you're Jesus, you can come up with stuff like that. But the way she said it was that it's not how smart you are, it's not your IQ, it's your emotional intelligence. It's how well you manage your emotions and other people's emotions as well. It's how well you manage those relationships with others. And that's what Jesus was saying. In so many words, he was saying, when you learn to control those negative emotions, blessed are the meek, the ones who learn how to go out into the world with their monster on a leash because they've now trained it and tamed it. Blessed are they, because they shall inherit the world. And it's true, it really is. So that's why I wanted to share this with you guys, because I really think that we're focusing on the wrong thing. We're focusing on how smart we are, how good we look, all of this stuff, when actually none of that matters. None of that matters. All that matters is how well do you know yourself, and how well can you manage your negative emotions, and also social awareness and relationship management. Those are the other two. So the first two is self-awareness and self-management. But then you have to move on to social awareness, being able to read other people's body language, being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and try to see it from their point of view. Understanding does not mean agreement. Understanding just means that you're trying to understand what causes this person to behave the way they do. You don't have to agree, but by understanding what motivates them, now we can manage that relationship better because we know what's driving that behavior. So social awareness, relationship management, so we have to learn to know ourselves better and stop denying the parts of us that we don't like, because what happens is you start taking it out on others. They say that we hate in others what we hate in ourselves. If I'm a lazy guy and I refuse to admit that I'm lazy, then when I see other people acting lazy, I will start to lash out at them, because that's the part of myself that I hate so much. I kind of ignore it, and when I see it from someone else, they're making me aware of it, and so I lash out at them. We hate in others what we hate in ourselves. So by understanding who we are, accepting it, and then learning to manage it, then we can start to look at others and start to understand what drives them. And once we understand others better, we can manage our relationship with others better. And that is what's gonna bring you success. Not facts and figures, and not how smart you are. If you're as good looking as I am, that might help too. I'm kidding. Oh my God, I gotta remind myself, I can't joke like that anymore. Isn't that crazy? If I showed you guys a picture of my senior year in high school, you know what? Actually, my senior year, I did grow to the height I am now. Let's go back to sophomore year. If I showed you a picture of my sophomore year in high school, you would understand why I make that joke and why I still think it's funny. But I have to remind myself now that other people don't think it's funny. Skyer, oh, well, why can't you? I guess I can, right? Fuck it, who cares? But because for me it's a joke. But again, it's about social awareness, right? It's about being able to read other people's body language. And I realize now when I make that kind of joke, some people who don't know me well and don't know my history, they may think that I'm being serious. They may think that I'm being boastful, arrogant, So yeah, I gotta be careful with that joke now. The crazy thing is I used to joke around about how famous I was, and now I can't joke about that either. So now I joke around about how, rich I am. So, until it comes to a point I can't joke about that either. But anyways, okay, let me leave you with that point. Rather than put yourself down all the time, like I do, I'm working on that. But isn't this channel for you to be yourself? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I am. I'm trying to be. But I have to be honest with myself. I don't like making people feel uncomfortable, especially when I know that there's things that I can do to prevent that. I don't like to purposely make people feel uncomfortable. So that's why I'm working on that. And anyways. But the last point I wanted to make and leave you guys with, rather than put yourself down and reaffirm the things in your life that you don't want, that you don't enjoy, like I'm so ugly, I'm so fat, I'm unattractive, girls don't want to talk to me, rather than affirm that, because that was the obvious truth before for me. But rather than keep saying that, I kept joking around and said the opposite, said what I did want. I was like, well, women are crazier than me. One time I burped really loud, and I was like, that's funny. There's usually a flock of women rushing towards me by now. That was my mating call. So I would joke around like that. And when I started my YouTube channel, my other one, rather than say, oh, nobody, because it took years before anybody actually watched it. I think it took 3 years before I got 100 or 200 subscribers or something like that. Anyways, but I just kept joking about it instead of saying nobody cares, nobody wants to watch my stuff, nobody likes me. Rather than say that, which is what I did believe, I joked and I said the opposite. And I would be with my friends drinking. I'd be like, well, when you're famous like I am, And now I said that joke one time at one of the convention shows, and it didn't go over well. let's just say that it didn't go over well. And that's when I realized social awareness, seeing other people's body language. That's when I realized I gotta stop that joke. That's not funny anymore because I actually am famous. I'm kidding. Anyways, let me leave you with that too. Those 2 points. Work on your emotional intelligence, not your head intelligence, right? Not your smarts, but your emotions, right? Then, rather than do negative self-talk, even if you do really feel negative, flip around and just joke around and say the positive, because our words really do have an effect on our reality. I'm living proof. Anyways, I'll see you guys. Rachel, we're meeting up in about a couple hours, right? My place? I'm kidding. She's in Malaysia, guys. She's in Malaysia. It's harmless, okay? I'm just joking. Anyways, I'll see you guys.